Hey everyone, Iconic Repaints here with another new custom to feature. Today we are looking at another Godzilla piece, specifically the Playmates Mega Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Kong. I saw this one day in Walmart. I was surprised to see it, so I grabbed it up real quick. Most of these figures were kind of flying off the shelves, or scalpers were kind of picking them up left and right so they could throw them up on eBay or something like that for 3 or 4 times the cost. It retailed for around $20 and came with a flat light gray paint job with bright blue spines. For its price point, it actually isn't a bad figure at all, but it does lack the texture and detail that other Godzilla figures from other companies have had in this scale. But again, you get what you pay for, and Playmates isn't really in the market for highly detailed sculpts, so this is probably as good as it's going to get. So this Godzilla is, of course, from the film Godzilla vs. Kong. It came out in March of this year, both in theaters and on HBO Max. It was supposed to be the final film in the legendary Godzilla series, but the movie did generate a lot of buzz. It had some success. Unlike the predecessor Godzilla King of the Monsters, sorry, it didn't, which that film kind of came out in your typical summer movie season, where it was surrounded, basically sardined by, big blockbuster hits before and after. Godzilla vs. Kong really didn't have to worry about really that kind of competition. Obviously, nobody was really going to the movies yet. The pandemic has still kind of, you know, limited what options there were from Hollywood. So, yeah, it was a nice little success. It was probably the most successful movie in the pandemic era. Uh, and yeah, so I kind of started this repaint with a very, very light brown, almost using it as like a primer. And the reason for this is because I wasn't happy with the color, and it's far easier to go darker rather than light when painting. So easier to go from light to dark rather than dark back to light. And once I figured out the shade of brown that I was happy with, I dry brushed, dark gray on parts towards his back so he didn't look so bland. So the back of the arms, back kind of like along the back of the spines, a little bit on his face. Since I hand painted this guy from head to toe, it took quite a bit of time to even him out and to cover like all the areas. Then the tricky part is the spines. Everybody wants to mimic Godzilla's supercharged look from this movie, and depending on what reference you're using, the amount of blue or anything like that, it could look very different in some shots. And trying to create the illusion of texture using just paint is really difficult to do. Even trying to photograph this figure for this video, the details just kind of get lost on camera, and the video is even worse. So sorry about that now. And if you stand this guy next to like an X Plus or even a 12-inch tall NECA that came with the 2014 movie, this figure definitely falls behind. But for a toy made specifically for children and not collectors, I was happy just making him kind of look a bit more like his on-screen counterpart. I actually did sell this guy to a Godzilla fan, and her comment after receiving him in the mail was, "Awesome paint job, he no longer looks like a dying ET." So I felt pretty good about that. It also goes to show how, people view the factory paint job on this guy. So I'm going to bring this video to a close right around here. I appreciate you all for watching and staying tuned. I have a lot more coming on the channel. I did a quick count, and I currently still am about 20 Funko Pops behind to put up on here, and that's obviously not including if I do any new work that I haven't completed yet. I also have some non-Funko stuff coming up, and I'm working on something really cool that's also Godzilla related. That's going to definitely take a little bit of time, but I hope it's all worth it. I hope you all had a great weekend. Peace.